everyone, this is Garrick bringing you another episode of Action Figure This Out, and today we're going to be taking a look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Speed Metal Jay Garrick. Now, I picked this guy up at my local comic book shop in Canada, Heroes Comics, along with a few other figures. I picked up the Flash from the Page Punchers line, as well as Green Lantern John Stewart with a 20% off holiday special, so I very much look forward to reviewing those figures. So before we get started, let's just take a quick look at the packaging here. On the front, you're going to see the figure through the window along with all his accessories. He comes with some effect pieces you can add on to him to make it look like he's generating lightning from the Speed Force. At the bottom, it says DC Multiverse Jay Garrick, collect to build the darkest night. On the side here, you're going to see where this figure's from. It says Jay Garrick from Speed Metal. On the back, you're going to see a picture of the Build-A-Figure. So this is the Darkest Night. This figure comes with the head, and on the bottom you're going to see the other figures that come in this wave. Lastly, on the side it simply says Jay Garrick, and for anybody who needs it, here's the barcode at the bottom of the box. So perfect, let's action figure this out and take a look at this figure out of the packaging. In the 1940s, college student Jay Garrick acquired his super speed abilities in a random lab accident and became the first DC superhero to go by the name The Flash. Years later, Jay was succeeded by police scientist Barry Allen until Barry's former kid partner Wally West took up the mantle at a time when Barry was considered dead. When Barry returned, he became The Flash once again. All three generations of speedsters have been cornerstone members of both Justice Society and the Justice League. So before we get started, let's just take a quick look at the height of this figure. So in inches, Jay Garrick stands at roughly around 7¼ inches, which roughly equates to something of around 18.5 centimeters. So right away, I'm just going to say that I initially wasn't a fan of this look for Jay Garrick. I very much like the classic version better, and I believe that McFarlane is making the classic version, so I'll definitely have to pick him up when he gets released. So before we jump in, we're just going to take a look at his accessories. So he comes with these Speed Force effects that you can attach onto him to make it look like he's generating electricity through the Speed Force as he runs. So he has this piece, comes with this piece over here. These are smaller pieces that you can hang on them. And then you get a bigger piece over here. So as you can see, you can just wrap it through his arm or leg and have it generating electricity as he runs. And he comes with a smaller piece here, which you can just hook onto his arm or leg like this. So that's pretty decent. So I believe that we haven't really seen these effects before, so good on McFarlane for not just releasing some old Speed Force effects. Now, once I saw this guy in hand, I knew that I had to pick him up. He looks really great in person. All the spikes and the redesigned helmet make him look badass. I like how the lightning bolt runs up his shirt through his face. So as you can see, the lightning bolt goes right through on his face. So that's pretty nice. It looks great. I also like how he has spiked knee pads and metal gauntlets. It makes him look so cool. I can't wait for the original version of Jay Garrick to add to my Speedster shelf. I most likely won't be getting the rest of this wave since these suits are more of a one-off in the comics. But nonetheless, this one I really like. I like the chain belt that he has, and it adds to his badass look. So nothing on the back, except for just a little detail on his vest right here. Yeah, these little fins on the back of his gauntlets and the back of his shin gauntlets. So that's pretty decent. And I like how McFarlane has even painted the back of these pegs. The the connector piece for his knees. He painted the back of them, so that's really cool. Good on McFarlane for the paint apps. And if you look, his helmet is kind of reminiscent of his classic helmet. He just has these rivet-like areas that are raised, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so now that we've taken a closer look at this figure, let's take a look at his articulation. So, now that we've taken a closer look at this figure, let's take a look at his articulation. Alright, so, in his neck and head, he has a dumbbell joint, which gives you the ability to look all the way up like this. He can look all the way down and have his chin touch his chest. He can look side to side, 360, and he has a decent amount of tilt. A really good amount, actually. So that's amazing. He has a hinge in his arm, and I believe he has a butterfly joint under this, so you can give him all the amount of rotation in his shoulder like this. He has a hinge that goes 90 degrees. He can go forward, he can go back, all 360 around. He has a double jointed elbow, which when you utilize both joints, you can touch his shoulder, you can go all the way up. And he has a hinge in his wrist, which gives you the ability to hinge in and out like this. And rotate 360 degrees. He has a double ball peg in his diaphragm, so that gives you the ability to rotate 360. He can lean forward this much, he can lean back this much, lean side to side. Okay, he has a double ball peg in his waist, which gives you the ability to rotate 360 like this. Okay, and utilizing both his diaphragm and waist cut, he can lean forward this much, he can lean back this much, he can lean side to side this much. So for his hips, he has the patented McFarlane ratchet hips, which give you the ability to do the splits. Okay, he can kick forward this much, he can kick back this much, and he has a little bit of rotation, tiny bit. He has a double jointed pinned knee, which gives you the ability to kick all the way back this much. And he doesn't have a boot cut, but he has a McFarlane ball joint in his ankle, which gives you the ability to kick back this much, kick forward this much, and he can rock his foot. So, now that we've taken a closer look at his articulation, let's take a look at how he compares with other figures. Alright, so first we're going to take a look and see how Jay Garrick stands next to the Wally West Kid Flash and Godspeed. Okay, next we have him standing next to the Dark Knight's Metal, Red Death, and the gold label version of Red Death. Alright, so next we have him standing next to the DC Rebirth Flash and the Reverse Flash. And next we have him standing next to the Dark Flash and the Flash from Injustice 2. And lastly we have him standing next to the Page Hunter Flash. So, I think that's going to be about it for today. Thanks for joining me on another episode of Action Figure This Out, where we took a look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Speed Metal Jay Garrick. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews of your favorite action figures. As well, don't hesitate to leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite version of Flash and why? Again, this is Garrick with Action Figure This Out, signing off.